Michael Waltrip is standing by with Rob Smith, who was involved in the incident just a few laps ago in turn 4. Mike?
Rob was just telling me that was one of my old cars he just wrecked, so that's unfortunate. The fortunate part is the Destin Florida driver is just fine. Could you tell what happened at all?
I really couldn't tell what happened. The crew had the car working great today, and we were drafting with the 91 car, and we were really coming up through there good, I thought. And then just all of a sudden, everything just stopped in front of me.
Well, I'm glad to see you're okay. Did you see the other guys, Randall Ritter and Henry Wallace, in the infield care center?
Yeah, I talked to Randall, and Randall's just fine. And Henry, I didn't really get to talk to Henry, but he was conscious.
Well, that's good news from the care center.
That was Rob Smith, 28-year-old driver.
And Kevin Ray hung on the inside as Mike Wallace goes by on the outside, takes third, and he's trying to go by Mark Stahl. Does Mark know he's there? Evidently he did. So Mike Wallace coming into second place.
And here's Bobby Boucher, the reigning ARCA Series champion, two-time Series champion. Bobby Boucher back in the Ford. Just down to the right side of your screen as they chase the leader. That's the black car. Left side, Mark Thompson.
Well, we haven't seen or heard much of Bowser today, but all of a sudden he's right there.
Well, he was started 8th on this restart, so on the caution flag and the pit stop, he had moved up to 8th place.
Yeah, but that's typical Bowser strategy. You never know he's there until you get into the heat of the race, and all of a sudden he's up there racing for the lead with you.
And that's why he had a 5th in 89, a 2nd in 92, and a 2nd in 94. He slips up on you, don't Bill?
Gaggle of cars here. The car number 46 being shown in 6th place. That is 6th as they are 2 wide for 7th. That's Gary Bradbury, the 1994 ARCA Rookie of the Year, car number 78, left side of your screen. The red machine you were riding with there, his roof cam. We are told Gary will not run the entire ARCA Series. They're planning on running 5 Winston Cup races out of his shop in Chelsea, Alabama, possibly starting next month at Charlotte.
The Big B Drugs car, Gary Bradbury.
And here's a car, Benny, that is on the move, and it looks like he's doing it all by himself.
Bob Schachter, pole sitter, started on this restart like 16th or something like that, and he's up to 13th or 12th right now. So.
He was the last car in the lead lap when they went green on this restart.
If he gets up with traffic, we'll see how much he likes being around the other cars. Earlier in the race, when he was around the other cars, he had to back out. We'll see if they fix the car where he can run in traffic right now. John Kernan?
Benny, they did make that chassis adjustment to try and tighten the car up, but what I'm being told is Schacter's told his crew over the radio that the car running about 300 RPMs less than what it should be running. They are hoping that the motor will just hang on and finish the race, is the word that I'm getting down here.
So it's more of an engine problem, I guess, than a chassis problem. We're hearing from the Bob Schachter people.
Well, it's hanging on pretty strong right now because he is reeling in that lead draft in a hurry.
Those RPMs will start picking up here pretty quickly as he gets closer to them and the draft they've got. And here's a battle for second place, and Jeff Purvis motor's right on by.
That seems to be one of the few moves that we've seen that someone to be able to pass somebody underneath there. Now they're
Bob Hill, 3 abreast. And there's Bradbury going by, and the 32 car stall goes up the hill, and Mike Wallace, fortunately, backed off. Because they're 3 abreast and a slow car. They're coming up on a slow car. Harris Devane goes by. Wow. It's a good thing this is a wide racetrack, huh?
Riding along with Mike Wallace. And he is right behind the 32 car of Mark Stahl as they go to the outside of Harris Devane, the rookie driver, down on the bottom of the racetrack in the red and white numeral car number 33.
Here we see the Klausner Ford of Mike Wallace. That's Peter Gibbons in 92 right behind him. That's NTN Bearings, the sponsor on Peter Gibbons' car.
You can see how strong that 33 car is down on the bottom. That's Harris Devane, and I guess he's going to run every race this year and run for...
Here we see Bob Schachter has caught Bobby Bowser and goes by, and Ned is like he's gaining on this group of cars.
Yeah, he's picking up on them, no question about it. And I'm sure those RPMs in that engine have gone up some. Now, it might not be the way that they would want it, but he picks up that draft, those RPMs will go up.
Now that's for 11th position. As you see the 75, that was our pole sitter at over 196 miles per hour as he is making a charge, trying to get up front and catch the lead car, which right now is Mark Thompson. Back with more from Talladega after this. Back at Talladega Superspeedway, a little bit of a change up front as Jeff Purvis, the defending champion of the Food World 500, has zipped beneath Mark Thompson, who was leading when we went to break a moment ago, and taken the lead. So it is Purvis being shown as the leader. Bob Hill in second spot, and you were riding a moment ago with the roof cam of Gary Bradbury. That's the red car. Number 78 in third spot.
Mark Thompson has moved back to the middle spot. And here we see some cars coming 3 abreast as they've taken the signal from the flagman halfway. That's Harris Devane, and he almost lost control. No, I'm sorry, that was Bob Shack that got the car out of shape a little bit in the trial. And
they banged together a little bit there.
Harris Devane and Andy Hillenberg. Devane in 33, Andy Hillenberg in 11. They did make contact as they're trying to catch Bobby Bowser.
Yeah, Bobby Bowser down on the inside. There were 3 abreast there for a moment. Bowser got on by, but actually got those 2 cars together a little bit. Bob Shack just backed out of that. So wait a minute, I don't have a piece of that yet. And you wonder if Shack maybe his car is not handling as well. Let's take a look at that again. We see Bowser down on the inside, and then we'll see the 33 car go up and just touch the 11 car.
Well, you could tell that when Bowser, just as Bowser's car got to the front of Harris Devane's car, it kind of took the air off of his spoiler and moved his car up a lane, which caused him to hit Andy Hillenberg.
You got to think Andy Hillenberg's hard had to skip a beat a moment ago there. Bill Venturini with that kind of bump. And a few laps ago, here's what happened with the lead change. The car number 1, Jeff Purvis, trying to make a move on Mark Thompson.
He comes by, he gets the draft down the back straightaway. He goes by Mark Thompson. And unfortunately for Thompson, here comes Bob Hill in 46 and Gary Bradbury in 78. There we see the lead trio. And there's Thompson.
Bob Hill, the car number 46, which currently being shown in second spot, has the best of both worlds. That's a Rick Hendrick car. They bought it was a backup car for Jeff Gordon a couple of years ago. And he's got a Richard Childress engine in the car. So you talk about having 2 strong horses on your side when it comes to Chevys. That's why he's running awfully well. Plus the fact the young man has a lot of experience.
Wait till he gets to the short track races starting next week, because both of the short track cars he's bought from me.
Oh, so he's going to be awfully strong.
Yeah, he's going to be real strong.
That's Bill Venturini, former 2-time ARCA champion, joining us in the booth today as you look at the field summary, seeing where your favorite driver is running or possibly has had the call in a day here at Talladega.
This is inside Mike Walsh's car, the Klausner Furniture out of Asheboro, North Carolina. There we see Mike at the tail end of the 6-car lead draft. He's right behind Mark Stahl. Mark in the 32 car. And Mike is saying, go.
He's pointing to Mark Stahl to go to the outside. He wants to go around the outside.
Huh.
Yeah, he definitely wants some help going around the outside. You can tell that.
Mike said that Hans Klausner and all the folks from Germany, that's a German company that has an American headquarters in Asheboro, North Carolina, they would be at the furniture market watching today as he's again pointing Bill Venturini, trying to get Mark Stahl to make a move to the outside of Mark Thompson. Let's check in with Michael Waltrip. Mike?
I'm standing in Mark Stahl's pit, and I was just talking to his crew chief, Buddy Hobbs, and he's reporting that the 66 car is spraying a little fluid out onto the windshield of Mark Stahl's car. This is a very strong run for Mark Stahl. He makes a little bit of a bid to the outside of Thompson, possibly trying to get out of that fluid. You mentioned his best ARCA finish was an 8th earlier this year, and he's running some very fast lap times at this point in the event.
Well, he got the message from Mike Wallace and just moved right up there and moved around to Mark Thompson, and now here comes Wallace on the outside as well.
Now those 2 Fords need to get hooked up, run nose to tail, and see if they can run that lead trio down. There we see Purvis, Bob Hill, and Gary Bradbury. There's 4th and 5th, Stahl and Mike Wallace.
That's the front 3 cars right there. Just take a look at our AutoZone race recap. Jeff Purvis is our leader, has led 22 on 62 laps thus far. There have been 6 lead changes, 2 caution flags for 14 laps. The average speed 138.209 miles per hour. Our leaders, Jeff Purvis has led the bulk of the race thus far. 22 laps, continues to lead. Shaq, our pole sitter. Mark Thompson led 12 laps, and Mark Stahl 9. Out of the race, you take a look at some of the cars that have had to call it a day. A number having to go to the garage area due to that second caution flag of the day. As here's Mark Thompson. He may join them in the garage area as apparently smoke coming from beneath his Ford Thunderbird.
Looks like he lost an engine going down the front stretch. And you think he'll be able to coast all the way around this racetrack, Ned?
I don't know if he'll get back or not if he has no power.
And there we see Kyle Petty. What's going on down there?
Well, like Michael was interviewing them down there and said that they were spraying water, so I come over to the 66 pit and asked them, and they said, yeah, it could be spraying a little bit, but they thought it would be all right. Next time by, it's coming out the pipes. They said they lost the cylinder, but you know how it is. When it starts coming out of the pipes, it's a lot more than a cylinder, guys.
That was Mike Brandt, the crew chief, who used to be with Bill Elliott back in '85 when Elliott won the Winston Million. And there's the pipes that you heard him talking about, Michael Waltrip talking about on the left side of that car. It's an Ernie Elliott engine in the Phoenix Air Ford Thunderbird.
Mark finished third here in the 1994 Food World 500K.
Meanwhile, back to the lead. That's Jeff Purvis and Gary Bradbury in the red 78. That is 1, 2, and 3. As you can see up in the corner, 52 laps remaining in this race. As they go by Ron Burchett one more time.
With Mark Thompson going to the pit area, there will only be 14 cars on the lead lap.
Listen to backs off. Doesn't sound like he's backing off the throttle at all. The sound you hear, that whine you hear, is the accelerator of the engine on this big beat Ruggs car. Let's listen as he goes in turn 3 and just see if he backs off the throttle.
And debris on the racetrack, we are told, as the yellow flag will wave for the third time a day. There's Hank Wetzel waving the yellow flag atop the ARCA flag stand here at Talladega Superspeedway. And the caution, there's Purvis, our leader, coming by. And he will take the caution flag as he goes by Ken Allen to bring out the third caution flag today, lap 68. Now, we are told that pit stops were still about 10 laps away. So this will give the opportunity for these cars that wanted the pit to be able to come in and make that pit stop under the yellow flag.
My question is, how many can make it the rest of the way?
Yeah, that's going to be...
Are some of them going to stay out there and run this caution right to the end and then make a pit stop and try to make it the rest of the way? I think Jeff Purvis told us he can't make it 50 laps because he stopped on 35. Their pace car is pulling out, so they're going to have to make a decision the next time they get to pit road.
I think it'd be awfully tough for these guys to make it 50 laps. You see Elmo Langley signaling to Jeff Purvis. He's going to pull up in front of him. He didn't want Purvis to be on the outside and possibly bump a race car. But 50 laps is going to be awfully tough because the plate on these cars is bigger than the Winston Cup plate.
But Harry Gant ran, what was it, Ned, in 1991? Or 57, 58 laps that he ran and won the race here?
It was a long way. Yeah. It was well up into the 50s, yes.
Yeah, but you're right, Jerry. A point well taken. The plates are bigger. They're going to use more, have more horsepower, so therefore they're going to use a little bit more fuel. So I don't know if somebody can make it or not.
Ernie Elliott told me a strong plate motor on a Winston Cup car for this weekend would be around 455 horsepower with a 7/8-inch plate. He said with this engine here, a strong horse would be about 515 horsepower. That's the motor he put in Mark Thompson's car, and he said that's going to burn a lot of fuel, so don't expect any lengthy runs on fuel. So I would doubt that any of these guys up front would be able to make it 50, probably not even make it 45.